Hello everyone. Welcome to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving. In today's lecture, we will continue with following directions and we will discuss some more previous year questions. So let us start. This is question number 1. The exam and the shift in which this question came is given for your reference. Now, Srinija walked 9 km towards the west. So again, if you remember the directions, west would be in this direction from her home. So let's say this is the home and she walks towards the west direction, 9 kilometers. Then she turned towards the south and walked 11 kilometers. So south would be this direction. So whenever a person is turning towards left and right, then we look from the perspective of the person. So over here, if we are facing west, the left will be this direction, this will be left and this will be right. But whenever the actual direction is mentioned, whenever it is mentioned that south, then in that case, we move towards the south. We will not move back towards the home. We will move towards the actual direction, which is south. So she turned towards the south and walked for 11 kilometers. Then she walked 13 kilometers towards the east. So east would be in which direction? This. So 13 kilometer in the east. And finally, she walked 4 kilometers towards the west. So she is coming back to this position after 4 kilometers. How far is Srinija from her initial position? So this is the final position. Okay. So clearly, this is the distance between the house and the final position. How? Because if this line is equal to 13, this line is equal to 13, and this line is equal to 4, that means this line will be equal to 9. So this line will be equal to this line, which is 11 kilometer. So our answer will be option number 1, 11 kilometer. Now, Kunal's house is located in the south direction of a coffee shop. So there's a coffee shop. Kunal's house is towards the south direction. There is a park towards the east of the coffee shop. So there's a park towards this direction. Local market is north of the park. So local market is north of the park. If the distance from the park to the market, this distance is equal to the distance of the coffee shop from Kunal's house. So this distance is equal to this distance. We have to find out in which direction to the market in relation to the coffee shop. So very clearly, in relation to the coffee shop, the market is in this direction and this direction is the northeast direction. So our answer will be option number 3, northeast. Now, question number 4. Arjun starts moving towards the east. So Arjun is moving towards the east. So this direction, and he walks for 50 meters. Then he turns left. So left will be in this direction and walks for 15 meters. From there he turns left again and walks 30 meters. So left will be this direction and he walks for 30 meters. Eventually he turns left and walks 15 meters. So left from this direction will be over here. So he'll reach back in this line. How far is he from the starting point? So this was the starting point, right? So if from here to here this is 50 and from here to here this is 30, this distance will be equal to 50 minus 30, which is 20 meter. So our answer will be option number 3, 20 meter. Now, question number 5. Ram walked 4 kilometers towards the north direction from his university campus to reach his department. So this is the university campus. He walks 4 kilometers north to reach the department, right? After walking 2.5 kilometers towards the north from his department. So again, 2.5 kilometers north from the department, he turned to his right and reached conference room after walking 4 kilometers. So right will be over here. He walks right and reaches conference room after walking 4 kilometers. Now we have to find out in which direction is he from his starting point. So his starting point was his university campus. This is the direction and this is clearly northeast. So our answer will be option number 2, northeast. Now, in a hospital, a nurse walks 90 meter towards east. So 90 meter towards east. So here, this is the starting point to see her duty doctor. And then she turns to her left and walks 20 meters. So left will be this direction and she walks for 20 meters. After that, she turns to her left and reaches ICU after walking 30 meters. So let's say this is the starting point. From here, she walks 30 meter to see the ICU. Here we have the ICU. But the doctor was not present there. So from there, the nurse walks 100 meter in the south direction. So from here, she is taking south direction 100 meters and she meets the doctor. So here she finds the doctor. We have to find out the shortest distance between the nurse covers from a starting point to meet the duty doctor. So the shortest distance from the starting point to meet the doctor will be this distance. Now, if this complete line, this is 100 and this is 20, this will be equal to this, right? So if this is 20 and this is 100, then this distance from here to here, this will be equal to 80, correct? Now, if this complete line is 90 and this is 30, that means this line will be 90 minus 30, which is 60. So SD, let's mark this as D. So according to Pythagorean theorem or Pythagoras theorem, SD square will be equal to 60 square plus 80 square. So this is 3600 plus 6400, which will give me 10,000. So SD square is equal to 10,000. So SD will be under root of 10,000, which is SD will be 100 meter. So our answer will be option number 2, 100 meter. Now, question number 7. A farmer is preparing his field. He starts his tractor from garage and drives 5 km towards the east. So let's say this is the garage. He starts and goes 5 km towards the east. From there, he turns right and drives 6 km. So right and 6 km. Then he turns right and drives 8 kilometers. So right from here and 8 kilometers. Then he turns right again and drives 10 kilometers. So right again and drives 10 kilometers. Where his tractor breaks down. So at this point his tractor breaks down. We have to find out the shortest distance between his current location and garage. So this was the location of the garage and this is the current location. So the shortest distance will be this, right? Let me draw a line over here and we get a right angle triangle, correct? So if this is 8 and this is 5, that means this will be 8 minus 5, which will be 3. Similarly, if this is 10 and from here to here it is 6 because it will be equal to this direction, then this will be 10 minus 6, which is 4. So this is the garage and this is the correct location. So CG square will be equal to 4 square plus 3 square, which will be equal to 16 plus 9, which will be equal to 25. So CG square is equal to 25. So CG will be under root of 25, which will be 5. So 5 kilometer will be the answer, which is option number 3. Now, Satyan walking towards the north. Satyan is walking towards the north and he walks 70 meters. So Satyan is walking towards north. This is the starting point, 70 meter. Left 35 meter. Left 30 meter and then left again and reaches a point 35 meters. So again he is in the same line. We have to find out how far is he from the starting point and in which direction. So clearly if this is the starting point and this is the current location, then he is towards the north And how much? If this is 70 and this is 30, so this distance will be how much? This will be 70 minus 30, which is 40 meter. So he is 40 meter towards the north, which is option number 4. So option number 4 will be the correct answer. Clear? Let's move forward. Question number 9. Richa starts walking from her home and walks 50 meter towards west. So home towards west 50 meter. Now she turns left and walks 90 meters. So left 90 meter. Then she turns left again and walks 30 meters. So left 30 meter. Okay. After that, she again turns left and goes 120 meter. So from here, let's say the house is here. Okay. This complete is 50, this is 30, and she goes left 120. She finally takes a right and walks 20 meter. So right and 20 meter to reach her final destination. So this is the final destination. Okay. We have to find out how far is she from her home and which direction with reference to her home. So clearly you can see if this is 120 and this is 90, that means this distance is 120 minus 90, which will give me 30 meters. So this distance will be 30 meters, correct? And we have to find out how far is she from her home, 30 meters, in which direction with reference to her home. So with reference to her home, she is definitely in the north direction. So our answer will be 30 meter north, which is option number 4. Now, question number 10. Amita walks 20 meter towards the north. So let's say this is the starting point, 20 meter north. Then turns right and walks 30 meters. So right 30 meters. Then she turns left and walks 25 meters. So left 25 meter. Okay? Clear? After that, she turns right and walks 30 meters. So let me draw it a little bit on the side. Let's say this is the starting point, 20 meter, then right, then 30 meter, then left, 25 meter, and then right and walks 30 meters. So right and 30 meter. From there, she turns right and walks 65 meter. So from here, she turns right and walks 65 meter. Then she turns left again and walks 40 meters. So from here, left will be over here 40 meter. And then she finally turns left and walks 20 meter. So let me just make it a little smaller. Okay. So let's say 30, coming back for 65, then 40, and then here she finally turns left and walks 20 meter. So something like this. These 2 points will be in the straight line. How? If this complete line from here to here is 65, this is 25, 20, which is 45 plus 20, 65. So this point and this point will fall in the same line. Okay. We have to find out how far is she from her home now. So home now, this was the initial position. This is the home, right? And in which direction with reference to her home. So with reference to her home, definitely she is in the east direction. And the distance will be how much? The distance will be 30 plus 30 plus 40. So 30 plus 30, 60 plus 40, 100. So she is 100 meter towards the east from the initial position, which was her home. So answer will be option number 2, 100 meter east. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 11. Again a long question. Okay. So again, as I said, drawing to scale helps. If you look at the previous question, the reason why I had to redraw it, because if I didn't draw it to scale, then it would be difficult for me. Now, because the diagram was drawn to scale, I could figure out, okay, this is 25, this is 20, this is 20. Again, it is not perfect because you are not there with a ruler. You don't have to do that. But just use a general idea to draw your diagrams because they help you. Okay? Now, Vimla starts from her home and walks 30 meter towards north. So let's say this is the home. 30 meter towards the north. And then she turns right and walks 40 meter. So right 40 meter. Clear? Then she turns left and walks 35 meter. 35. After that, she turns right and walks 40 meters. So right 40 meter. Okay. Then she turns right again and walks 85 meter. So right again 85 meter. Then she turns right again and walks 50 meter from there. So this is 85 and right again walks 50 meter. Then she finally turns right and walks 20 meters. So finally right and walks how much? 20 meter. So this will be the ending position. If you see, this is 35 and this is 30. So this will be 65 plus 20, 85. So this final position will be towards the east of the house. Clear? Now we have to find out how far is she from the house and which direction with reference to her home. So home, clearly we find out she is towards the east. And distance, let us find out. So let me join this and call this x. Now in this diagram, 50 plus x will be equal to 40 plus 40. 40 plus 40 will be equal to 50 plus x, correct? In this diagram. So x will be equal to 80 minus 50, which is 30 meter. So she will be 30 meter towards the east from her home, which is option number 4. So option number 4 will be the correct answer. 12th. Question number 12. Ratan walks 15 meter towards the north and turns right and walks 23 meter. So this is the starting point. He is walking 15 meter towards the north and then he takes a right turn and walks for 23 meter. Then he turns left and walks 16 meters. So left and 16 meter. After that, he turns left and walks 11 meter. So left and 11. Then he takes a right turn and walks 17 meters. So here again right and 17. Then he turns left and walks 12 meters. So from here he is going left 12 meters. So 11 plus 12. 11 plus 12 will be how much? 23. So this point will be in plane with this point. They will be in the straight line, right? He finally turns right and walks 19 meters. So from here also he turns right and walks 19 meters. Okay. In which direction and how far is he now with reference to the starting point? So this was the starting point. So clearly the direction is north. He is in north. Now let us find the distance. So distance will be how much? This is 19. So 19 plus how much? 11 plus how much? 16 plus 15. So the distance will be how much? This is 20, 30, 40, 50 and 61. This is 19. This distance is 17. This is 17. So 19 plus 17 plus 16 plus 15. This would be equal to 67. So our answer will be option number 3, 67 meters towards the north. So if you look at this question again, 15 meters towards the north, then right and 23 meters, then left and 16 meters, then left and 11 meters, then right and 17 meters, then left and 12 meters, and finally right and 19 meters. So total distance will be 19 plus 17 plus 16 plus 15, which is equal to 67 meter. So answer is option number 3, 67 meter. Clear? Question number 13. Kartik walks 40 meters straight from his home towards the north. So let's say this is the house, 40 meters straight. Then he turns left and walks 25 meters. So left and walks 25 meter. Then left again and walks 15 meter. This direction, right? Then he turns left and walks 25 meters. So left, let's say this is 40. Left and 25 will give me back to this line, right? And this is point X. This was the house. This is point X. We have to find the shortest distance between his home and the point X. So if this to this is 40 and this is 15, that means HX will be how much? It will be 40 minus 15, which is how much? Which is 25. So the answer will be option number 1, 25 meter. Question number 14. Bismita walks 200 meter towards the east. So towards the east, 200 meter. This is the starting point. Then turns right and walks 210. So right and 210 to reach a hospital. So this is the hospital. This is the starting position. We have to find the shortest distance between the starting point and the hospital. So this is the shortest distance. Correct? This is a right angle triangle. So we have to find the shortest distance. We use the concept of what? Pythagoras theorem. Correct? SH square will be equal to 200 square plus 210 square. For your reference, 21 square is equals to 441. Okay? So this will be 40000 plus 44100. This is 84100. So SH will be the under root of 84100. So SH will be equal to 290. How? Because 29 square, if you know, is 841. This is why it is important to remember the squares of 1 to 30. I have been telling you from the beginning that it comes in very handy that if you remember the squares of 1 to 30. So in questions like this, you don't have to waste a lot of time, and clearly by seeing 841, I can see that it is the square of 29, and therefore my answer will be 290. Now, let us move on to the next question. Question number 15. Arjun walks 40 meters towards the south from his home. So let's say this is the home. He walks 40 meters towards the south. And then he turns left and walks 55 meter. So left will be this direction, 55 meter. Then he takes another left and walks 15 meter. So left 15 meter. And then he takes left again and walks 55. So left again, he'll go back to this 55 meter. So this would be the final point. This will be the final point of Arjun. We have to find the how far is he from the home now. So this was home, this is the final point. So this distance, if this is 40 and this is 15, this distance will be equal to 40 minus 15, which is 25 meter. So our answer will be option number 2, 25 meter. So this concludes today's lecture. Thank you.